Hey guys, here's a question I get almost every day from people that are thinking that, hey, you know what? I got to start recruiting in order to grow my business. And as a real estate brokerage owner or team leader, the only way that you're going to grow profitability is by growing the number of agents that you have working for you. You got to switch hats. You're coming from the hat of being a top producing agent in many cases. And so your focus is on production. And sometimes when we move over to the brokerage side, we still think it's all about production. But you got to think about, where does production come from? Production's not going to come from one agent or two agents or even 10 agents. It's going to come from a group of agents that are working for you. So your customers are no longer buyers and sellers when you become a brokerage owner or even a team leader. Your customers are agents. And if you want to grow your business, you need more customers, which are agents. So you have to have a focus on growth, right? So this is really, really an important distinction to make. And if you just sit in the same spot with the same number of agents, not only are you not going to grow, you're actually going to become less and less profitable over the year. We got something called inflation happening in our country, in every country, every day. And that means every year, if you stay stagnant, inflation's eating away at your profit margins. So you've got to grow. It's grow or die, right? So we have to grow the number of agents that we have. Super, super, super important. Now, some questions that I get around recruiting is I want to hit the easy button. So I want to hit the easy button. I'm going to give you two examples of trying to hit the easy button with recruiting that absolutely do not work. You ready? And you might have been victim of this. Is you say, I'm going to hire somebody that is going to make my recruiting calls for me. And it's going to be a company based in the Philippines or Mexico or Canada or wherever, it doesn't matter, even in the United States. They're going to make calls for me and they're going to set recruiting appointments. Who responds to cold recruiting calls from third-party companies is going to be new agents or agents that are not high-level producers. Rarely, and I mean rarely, would you get an experienced agent that will respond to that level of call. So doing that is a dead end. If you want to recruit at a high level, you've got to treat it at a high level. You got to act as the NFL coach, the NBA coach, the team leader, and you got to be making these calls yourself so that they respect you on the other side of that phone call. If I'm on the other side of the call, put yourself on the other perspective. You're a 5, 10, $20 million producer and you get a third party cold call from somebody, you're going to hang up immediately. You're not going to get anywhere. But if I get a call from the brokerage owner, the leader over there, and they say, Jim, I just want to tell you, I appreciate what you're doing in the market. I'm watching. I see you're up 22% over last year. I see your skills in the marketplace with your negotiation and your offer writing. And I'm watching, man. I'm seeing what you're doing. I'd love an opportunity to sit down and show you what we can do at our company to help you grow even further. Would you be open to having a conversation? That conversation is completely different than a third-party cold caller calling. So don't hire third-party cold callers. Take responsibility of your own company and accept, for my company to grow, I personally have to recruit. You can't hand it off and expect success. Now, there is one caveat to this, and that is if you have an internal recruiter. If you have an internal recruiter, some of you have hired personally, that's inside your company, that's working with you, you can look at that almost like a headhunter position. And I've seen success with that, where you have somebody that works side by side with you that kind of tees up appointments and says, hey, I'm calling on behalf of Jim. I work with him here side by side. We've been having a conversation this morning about who are the movers and shakers. You come up on his list. He would really love to have an appointment with you. That's a whole different thing. And people see it, they feel it, they know who that person is because they see who's on your team, and they're going to get to know you that way. So that's a different thing. Now, let me tell you the other way that people hit the easy button, which is a huge mistake. I call it push button recruiting, right? And that is where we think we can just put a whole MLS. We'll just download the whole MLS and we'll put them on a drip recruiting campaign. And then I can check the box and say, I recruited today. No, you didn't. No one's going to look at that positively. I mean, rarely we get anything out of that. What that is an excuse not to actually recruit. What that is what maybe a franchise thinks is a great idea for recruiting. That doesn't work. And all that does is it becomes noise. Put yourself on the other side of it. You're a 10, 8, $15 million producer. You see a drip email, which is clearly, obviously a drip email that's not personalized. It's just a wide shotgun approach come into your inbox. Do you take the time to open up and read it? No. You delete it out of hand. You don't look at it for a second. What works is when you are an active recruiter yourself and you are taking the time to do personalized touches, personalized emails, personalized communication, texting, phone calls, video texting, everything that goes along with it. The high-level agents, That's what's going to have impact. So guys, if you want coaching like this every day, join us over at eRealEstateCoach.com. Sign up for a discovery call with me, and we can talk about how we can set you up to really start growing your company and your market. And when you sign up for the call, by the way, it will be with me. So I'd love to have that conversation. Let's talk about your company. Have a great day. Good selling.